Hello friends, welcome to yet another video. Today we can discuss a poem by Nissim Ezekiel, Night of the Scorpion. Okay, so let's move on to the poem Night of the Scorpion by Nissim Ezekiel. A little bit about the writer Nissim Ezekiel. Nissim Ezekiel was born in the year 1924. His life period is from 1924 to 2004. He was an Indian Jewish poet, actor, and also a playwright. He was awarded the Sahitya Akademi Award in 1983 for his collection Later Day Psalms. Okay, for his collection Later Day Psalms, he received Sahitya Akademi Award in the year 1983, and also he was a recipient of Padma Shri in 1988. Okay, his major works include Time to Change, The Discovery of India, The Unfinished Man, The Exact Name, Hymns in Darkness, Later Days Psalms, etc. So, moving on to the poem Night of the Scorpion. This poem was published in The Exact Name in 1965. Okay, it was published in The Exact Name, and the poem is about how a scorpion stung the poet's mother. Okay, how a scorpion stung the poet's mother and also his mother's love and affection for her children. What was the mother's expression after this, or mother's reply, or mother's attitude after she was stung by a scorpion? Okay, his mother's love and also his affection for her children. And there is also a hint of culture and superstition. Okay, the poet seems to be a little bit angry. Okay, he shows certain hint about the culture and superstition existed in that society. Okay, so moving on to the poem. So the poem begins like this. I remember the night my mother was stung by a scorpion. 10 hours of steady rain had driven him to crawl beneath a sack of rice. So here the poet talks about the time. It is night time, and he starts like this. I remember the night my mother was stung by a scorpion. So the speaker remembers the time, the night time when his mother was stung by a scorpion. Okay, 10 hours of steady rain had driven him to crawl beneath a sack of rice. So this scorpion, there is continuous rain for almost 10 hours, and this 10 hours of steady rain had driven him to crawl beneath a sack of rice. So in order to take some shelter, the scorpion comes to the house of the poet. Okay, this scorpion, because of 10 hours of continuous rain, it came to poet's home and it crawled beneath a sack of rice. 10 hours of steady rain had driven him to crawl beneath a sack of rice. So here the poet remembers the night when his mother was stung by a scorpion. So then he says, parting with his poison, flash of diabolic tail in the dark room, he risked the rain again. So here he says, parting with his poison. That means the scorpion was parting with his poison, which means he had sting someone. Okay, the scorpion has sting some human beings. Flash of diabolic tail in the dark room, he risked the rain again. So flash here refers to the speed of the scorpion. The flash of diabolic tail in the dark room. So this scorpion is considered to be a demonic creature. The scorpion is suggested as demonic with its diabolic tail. Okay, so here emphasis is given to its speed. Flash, the speed of the scorpion. Flash of diabolic tail in the dark room, he risked the rain again, which means he had bitten someone. The scorpion stung someone who is in the house, and it risked the rain again. That means sometimes here, obviously, it's the mother that was stung by the scorpion. It was the poet's mother who was stung by the scorpion. So, parting with his poison, that means he stung the poet's mother. Okay, so poison enters the body of his mother. So the scorpion stung the poet's mother, parting with his poison, and then he risked the rain again. Here he refers to the scorpion. The scorpion risked the rain again. So moves out of the house. Okay, in order to escape from the rain, it crawled beneath a sack of rice. It hid beneath a sack of rice. But now somehow the mother gets stung by the scorpion, and the scorpion escaped from that home, escaped from beneath the sack of rice, and it risks the rain again. It goes out of the house. Okay, it again goes into the rain. The peasants came like swarms of flies and buzzed the name of God 100 times to paralyze the evil one. So the neighbors, the peasants came like swarms of flies. Here simile is used. Okay, the peasants, they came like swarms of flies. Okay, the neighbors of the poet, they came like swarms of flies and buzzed the name of God 100 times to paralyze the evil one. That is, they prayed to God. They prayed to God 100 times to paralyze the evil one. Here the poet is talking about the superstitions. Okay, the superstitions the villagers have. The villagers believe that with every movement of the scorpion, it will affect the poet's mother. That means this poison will spread in his mother's body with the movement of the scorpion. Okay, with every movement of the scorpion, the poison will spread in mother's body. So these villagers, they prayed to God to paralyze the evil one. Evil one means scorpion. Okay, so they prayed to God that the scorpion be paralyzed. Okay, with candles and lanterns, throwing giant scorpion shadows on the mud-baked walls, they searched for him. He was not found. They clicked their tongues. With every movement that the scorpion made, his poison moved in mother's blood, they said. So the villagers tried to find out that scorpion. Okay, with candles and with lanterns, throwing giant scorpion shadows on the mud-baked walls. Here, that means that evil is still haunting the house. That means the shadow. Okay, when he says that giant scorpion shadows, throwing giant scorpion shadows on the mud-baked walls, here he is implying that there is still that evil haunting the house. Okay, even after the scorpion had left the house, there is still some evilness haunting the house. Okay, so with candles and with lanterns, these villagers, they search for scorpion everywhere. But he was not found. They clicked their tongues. With every movement that the scorpion made, his poison moved in mother's blood, they said. But even though they tried to find out the scorpion with candles and with lanterns, they couldn't find this scorpion. And so what happened? They became very much afraid, because this is the superstition that the poet is mentioning about. With every movement that the scorpion made, his poison moved in mother's blood. Okay, so the villager says that with every movement of the scorpion, this poison will move in mother's blood. So it is very important that the scorpion be paralyzed. The scorpion should be found out. Otherwise, this poison will move in mother's blood. Okay, so the villagers were very much afraid. So this is the superstition that the poet is talking about. Then he continues, "May he sit still," they said. "May the sins of your previous birth be burned away tonight," they said. "May your suffering decrease the misfortunes of your next birth," they said. "May the sum of all evil balanced in this unreal world against the sum of good become diminished by your pain. May the poison purify your flesh." So may he sit still. That means that scorpion, may he sit still. That means the scorpion didn't make any movement. They said, the villagers pray to God, "May the sins of your previous birth be burned away tonight." They said. Again, the villagers are saying, "May the sins of your previous birth." Your means the poet's mother. Okay. May the sins of your previous birth be burned away tonight. They said. So the villagers hope that if the poet's mother have committed any sins in her previous birth, it be burned away tonight, because she is suffering from the stinging of the scorpion. Okay, she is suffering. So that sin that the poet's mother has committed in her previous birth, if there is something like that, it be burned away tonight. May your suffering decrease the misfortunes of your next birth, they said. Again, this villagers is saying, if there is something called next birth, so this suffering may decrease the misfortunes that you have to face in your next birth. Okay, all these are their superstitions. Okay, the superstitions of the villagers. So they are saying, may the sins of your, whether if you have committed any sins in your previous birth, then it be burned away tonight. And if you have to suffer any misfortunes in your next birth, it will also be diminished because of this incident. Okay. May the sum of all evil balanced in this unreal world. So, if you have committed any sin in your previous birth, or if you have to suffer any misfortune in your next birth, all these be balanced in this unreal world. Okay, all these be balanced in this birth itself. May the sum of all evil balanced in this unreal world against the sum of good become diminished by your pain. May the poison purify your flesh. So may that poison of the scorpion purify your flesh, because you are suffering a lot now. Okay. So this suffering will diminish all your pain. Okay. So the next stanza is the continuation of the previous stanza sentence. May the poison purify your flesh of desire and your spirit of ambition, they said, and they sat around on the floor with my mother in the center, the peace of understanding on each face. So they are saying that all her sins be cured because of this suffering today. Okay. And may the poison purify your flesh of desire and your spirit of ambition, they said. And they sat around on the floor with my mother in the center, the peace of understanding on each face. So the mother is now in the center, and all the villagers, all the women, they sat around the mother. Okay, more candles, more lanterns, more neighbors, more insects, and the endless rain. My mother twisted through and through, groaning on a mat. So more candles, more lanterns, more neighbors. So more neighbors came to her house, more candles and more lanterns, because that means more people went to search the scorpion. More insects, and the rain is continuing, and the endless rain. Rain doesn't stop then. Okay. My mother twisted through and through, groaning on a mat. So his mother is very much suffering because of the stung of the scorpion. So his mother is suffering from pain, and all the women sat around her, and people searched for the scorpion, but it was not found. My father, skeptic, rationalist, trying every curse and blessing, powder, mixture, herb and hybrid. He even poured a little paraffin upon the bitten toe and put a match to it. I watched the flame feeding on my mother. I watched the holy man perform his rites to tame the poison with an incantation. After 20 hours, it lost its sting. So, my father, skeptic, rationalist, trying every curse and blessing, powder, mixture, herb and hybrid. So, his father is a little more practical than the villagers. His father is trying everything that he could. He used powder, mixture, herb, hybrid, and he even poured a little paraffin upon the bitten toe. And he put a match to it so that it will burn that sting. Okay. I watched the flame feeding on my mother. I means the poet. He is watching all these things happening around him. I watched the flame feeding on my mother. Feeding on my mother means not the flame upon her body, but upon that sting of the scorpion. I watched the flame feeding on my mother. I watched the holy man perform his rites to tame the poison with an incantation. Again, the superstition. A holy man is performing his rites in order to tame that poison, in order to control that poison which is spreading in a mother's body. So all the superstitions in the village is described by the poet. But after 20 hours, it lost its sting. So the mother became cured from this poison. Okay, so his father is a little bit practical, much more than that of the villagers. So he tried something to cure his poet's mother. That means he tried powder, mixture, herb, hybrid, everything in order to cure it. and a holy man is seen performing some rites to tame the poison. But after 20 hours, it seems it lost its sting. So here the speaker is watching everything. The holy man performing the rites, the father doing something to save his mother, everything. The peasants sitting around her, around his mother and praying for her, everything. All these things. The speaker watches all these things, but he couldn't do anything. Okay, so the peasants actually accepted the fate of the mother, that she is going to die. But somehow she escaped from that pain. Somehow she escaped from that sting. And after 20 hours, the poison loses its sting. Okay, so then the poet continues. My mother only said, thank God the scorpion picked on me and spared my children. Here we can see the love and affection of a mother towards her children. My mother only said, thank God the scorpion picked on me and spared my children. She says, mother says, thank God that the scorpion had bitten me and not my children. The scorpion had stung me and not my children and spared my children. So that love and affection that a mother have towards her children is very well explained by the poet in this poem. Okay, she thanked God that she was stung. She was stung by the scorpion, and the scorpion hasn't stung her children. Okay, she was stung and not her children. The scorpion had spared her children. So that love and affection of a mother towards her children is very well described by the poet in this poem. So here the poet presents a rural Indian village, okay, and also its people, the superstitions prevalent in the society. Okay, so that religious background and all those things. The poet seems to be somewhat angry of all these superstitions happening around him, but he couldn't do anything. Okay, he could only watch all these things happening around him. So that superstition, that culture, all these are described by the poet in this poem. But the concern of the villagers towards their neighbor, all these are seen in this poem. And the major thing, that is, a mother cannot tolerate the pain and suffering of her children. It is very well explained in this poem. Okay, that we can see in the last two lines. Thank God the scorpion picked on me and spared my children. Okay, the mother is thanking God that the scorpion had stung her and had spared her children. That means it hadn't stung her children. Okay, so this is all about the poem. I think you have understood the poem very well. Thank you so much.